was a staff member at the embassy. The defendant in this case, Mr. Mackerel. That name seems fishy to me for some reason. Was held for questioning the night of the incident as he was deemed suspicious. He was quickly placed under arrest for possession of the murder weapon, a gun. Furthermore, at the time of the murder, the great thief Yagatarasu was successfully infiltrated at the Coropian embassy as well. At first, Rail claimed that he himself was the Yagatarasu, but he did not kill dead man. I wonder what he expected to gain from such a desperate lie. It's possible that he wants to go down Val in the spotlight. If he is found guilty, there's truly no limits to people's insanity. But I digress. Continue, Ezras. Yes, sir. During the trial, the prosecution presented a security footage that captured the murder. The footage clearly showed Mr. Rell as the murderer. The act of Mr. Rell firing the gun could have clearly been seen from the visitors gallery. Upon seeing that, the defendant retracted his statement and admitted to the murder. I did it because I was told to. By the real Yatsugarasu, Ben Faraday. That sounds about right. However, you have forgotten one thing. While this may appear to be simply the murder of a Coropian embassy staff member, people are actually referring to the second Kg-8 incident. The second Kg-8 incident? I am very sorry, sir. I fear I have failed to study hard enough. Well, even among the police, is information that only a select few are privy to. Could you please enlighten me, sir? And speaking of Mackerel and Burn Faraday, seriously, Mackerel, come on, dude. Something fishy with that name. Anyway. Yeah, Mackerel. That guy. And Dead Man? Come on, dude. Okay, his Japanese name Makiri Toru is... It means to let slide or to get away with. And, Dead Man. Same thing in Japanese. Burn Faraday? It seems to be Gaelic for raven. Burn, his first name, Burn. In his Japanese, Guru means to suffer through hard work. It might also be crow, which is a bird like a raven. If you guys don't already know. Anyway, about the second Kg-8 incident. So, what do you mean by the second Kg-8 incident? In order for me to tell you that, you must first learn about the original case. Take a look at these documents. This is a three-year-old newspaper. You have heard of the Amano group scandal before, correct? Yes, I have. The secretary of Ernest Amano, the Amano Group director, was arrested. And speaking of Ernest, hold on. Ernest Amano. Yeah, I'm getting this information off of courtrecords.net. His last name in Japanese means the Milky Way. And it's a pretty long name, so I'll spare you and not pronounce it, so I won't butcher it. Under the suspicion of smuggling. Correct. CCU was an employee of the Amano Group, and she sold witness to the smuggling operation. It was she who brought the crime to light. However, Miss Yu was silenced before she could testify in court. Wasn't a Korean embassy staff member arrested for the murder? Yes, a Korean by the name of Manny Kochin was the suspect. And, something about him? Manny Kochin? I don't really see the pun there. But in Japanese, it's same thing as English, Manny Kochin. Manny might be a pun on money, and says that Cochin comes from Cochin, a type of rooster. And CCU. Let me see. Something about CCU. No, that's Callisto. I'm sorry. The only U I see in court records is Callisto. But we'll get to her in a moment. However, due to lack of evidence, the case went unresolved. Lack of evidence? Ha! If only I was in charge of the case. I would have done everything in my power to prove his guilt. I bet you would, Manfred. To make sure all criminals are found guilty. My mental is really desiccated. Faraday was a prosecutor on the case even then. And he was as pathetic as ever. Mr. Faraday was in charge of the Kg-8 incident as well? That's right. And now, once again, the victim of the case you are currently assigned to was someone who was scheduled to testify against the smuggling organization. And just like last time, the victim was murdered right before he was to testify. You're cashing on. The victim was murdered just before his day in court against the smuggling organization. So, what? Events are occurring almost exactly the same way as they did in the Kg-8 incident. So that's why it's been called the second Kg-8. Yes. Yet there's one difference between the two incidents. And what would that be? The so-called noble Stevesat is sending everyone into an uproar. The great thief Yatakarasu. Yatakarasu? I better find out more. Can you tell me a little more about the Yatsukarasu? If it is true that the Yatsukarasu showed up at the Koropian embassy. Sorry, I just noticed that the screen was down. On my camera here. What could he or she be after? No doubt to steal any suspicious accounting records and release them publicly. Or more likely to steal secrets from the Koropian embassy itself. Since the item that the Yagatarasu stole from there was sent to the police. What was it that the Yatsukarasu sent to the police? I don't know the details. Anything related to the Yagatarasu is getting the top secret treatment. Still, I find it very ironic. By returning the stolen items to the police, it was proof positive that the Yagatarasu had infiltrated the embassy on the same day as the staff member was killed. Criminals have a way of incriminating themselves, wouldn't you say? That would have been the first time the Yatsukarasu has left evidence behind, correct? Yes, indeed. If you wish to learn more about the Yatsukarasu, then I suggest you ask Faraday. Mr. Faraday? He happens to be the prosecutor in charge of the Yatsukarasu case as well. He's the prosecutor in charge of both the Kg-8 incident and the Yatsukarasu case. Mr. Faraday really has a lot on his plate. What is it, little girl?
You're scary, mister.
Do you need something?
I want to trade these coins with you.
A fistful of dimes, quarters, and pennies. It looks like you've exactly $1. Is this what you want?
Thanks. That's exactly what I needed.
Yeah, that's the same voice I'm gonna give to Pearl. Could that child be here to watch the trial?
How disrespectful for a child like that to be running around inside the courthouse. Does no one have respect for these countries' judicial system anymore?
The paperwork for the prosecutor substitution is complete. And by the way, Manfred, what about that kid behind you? He's not...
Why, you? Do you even know how much time there is left before the trial resumes?
I'm so sorry.
I can have you mopping up this courthouse instead of protecting it in an instant.
Mm-hmm. It's no bother, sir. Not being completely prepared could prove to be a perfect handicap for me. A proud one you are. You had better collect the evidence from Faraday and prepare yourself. It's time for your debut, Ezra. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next part when the trial commences. And remember, it's another objection solved. Bye, Z's!